So everybody, I just want to come in real quick and talk about this three-part post that I'm going to do, what's known as the recreation story. And it's something that's very exciting because when you think about people and the way they describe Jesus, some people get it right in saying that he's fully God, but they don't really ever talk about or focus on his humanity. And then there's other people who think that he was only a mere human, but they never talk about him being divine or being God himself. And then there's some people who get it right and say God or Jesus was both fully God and fully man, yet they don't ever recognize him as the creator. It actually says in the first chapter of Colossians that he is before all things, and by him and through him all things were created, and by him all things sustain or hold together. And it says in the first chapter of John, verse 3, that all things originate in him. So everything that you see was created by him and originated in him. And so this is pretty amazing because we're all made in the image of Christ, and he's always been intimately connected in sustaining his creation, even if we didn't know it. The very air that we breathe is Christ air, and we are held together by him. The divine dance, the love bed of the Trinity, we were all birthed out of that, and now presently, whether we know it or not, sustained by the Christ life, which shows that even though we might have not known God, we've always been known by him intimately, and he's always known us. And we see this comparison in, when Jesus comes, when he's birthed, in the incarnation, we see this kind of comparison with Genesis chapter 1 and then the gospel accounts. For example, Genesis chapter 1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then we go to the New Testament in the Gospels. In the beginning was the Word, referring to Jesus. And then you see in the first chapter of Genesis that the Spirit hovered over the face of the deep. And then we see in Luke that when Mary is being told that she's going to become pregnant with the Son of God, that the Spirit will overshadow you. And then you get the first creative act in Genesis, let there be light. In the first kind of comparison in the book of Luke, Mary hears the news and she says, let it be according to your word. So we see something really interesting happening here. We assume that there was only, the original creation, but it was always planned for a recreation, that now the Creator himself, the Christ, has become man in Jesus, and he's doing a creative work inside of his creation. And you actually see this happening in throughout his ministry when he breathes on people and he heals with the clay of the ground. And we kind of see a lot of his miracles are reflective of creative miracles that took place in the Old Testament. So this is very important because basically what we see in the last comparison, which is my favorite, is that when man was birthed, from the dirt, the clay of the ground, God breathed life into Adam. And what we see in the New Testament is as Jesus comes out of the dust, out of the dirt of the tomb, he breathes on his disciples, and he's breathing a new creation. He's breathing a new humanity. And everything that was of the old, which was always God's plan, he was never taken off guard by our sin, but everything that was of the old, Jesus took and he breathed its last breath on the cross, and he came out the other side of the tomb and he breathed an entire new creation into existence. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that means because it's really, really good news. So I'll be back with you probably tomorrow to talk a little bit about the second part of the recreation story.